Feels good. Having one of those little anxious mornings. What do you? A lot of tattoo work tonight.
You are? Where you going?
Park Synergy. Oh yeah. One of the guys from the gym over. This one will review stuff.
It is. There's like an anxiety and a rush. Getting sweaty and like nervous, and you forget how bad it hurts for the first 15 minutes. Because for the first 15 minutes it hurts, and then you just go down.
It's like my sternum hurts so bad.
You're doing there. You're redoing your chest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that probably hurts. Like when they ended up in here, like they were like down here, and it felt like they were up because all your nerves go through your, you know, that one spot in here, and it just keep shooting up into it. And it was like, I got the itch so bad. So bad.
Good. Yeah. Cool, man.
I've got my artist working on mine now, so I have another consultation next Friday.
What do you get done?
Getting it started is the Celtic quarter sleeve.
All right.
So she's bleeding off of what I already have. Yeah, I gave her a few designs. I'm like, go, just do your thing as an artist.
That's the best thing you can do.
Oh,
here's the couple things that I want. Now you figure out how it all fits together.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So I'll be there until like 10 p.m. tonight.
There you go.
2.
Okay. I sat.
Wow.
I sat for.
That's a long time to sit.
Yeah.
I sat for 9 hours when I did this, but I mean that's from here to here.
Sorry, I love those.
That was a while. It started. It was like towards the end. Like, how much longer? Yeah, it was probably about 2 hours. I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna finish it.
I have no longer feeling in this arm or toast.
So you feel like yourself again?
Yes.
That's the worst.
Well, boys. February already. We are down to 48 weeks left in the year.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm writing an offer. I know I already have verbal acceptance when I get it. So that was super cool. That popped sort of out of nowhere. I thought they were going to do construction. It wasn't going to get paid for like
Oh yeah.
8 months.
Yeah.
But
Ended up buying a resale.
they're finding the new construction done.
Okay.
They're closing in 30 days.
Right.
You know, so price point's lower, but it fits into what they really want long term, anyways. The other person on the other side was just a little too pushy and turned them off.
Teresa.
Yeah. She flipped out on me yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll do that.
So that was awesome.
It was great. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I get that
My
last
eyes started twitching because I was like, I'm gonna punch. I don't know, it wasn't face to face, luckily. But I bit my tongue. I was professional. I did not let my emotion get into the transaction.
Yeah.
You know, and now I'm laughing at her because she acted like a fool.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll still be able to work with her in the future because it was the bigger person at the end said, hey, apologize for putting this together. They're just going back to them. So we were getting a nice discount on, you know, first. You know, so if our paths cross again, I'll be able to laugh every time I walk in and out now because I know exactly what I did.
Yeah.
So that was good. And I had someone call me out of the woodwork this week. Michael Morfin used to be licensed, hasn't renewed his license, called me and says, I want to sell my investment property. It's like, I could just, you know,
Go through Con Ed.
It's like, but you're going to do about it, God.
Excellent.
It's like, thanks, buddy.
Excellent. Well, you can keep in touch with him
Cause I was trying to get him to come in here and work.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted him to come in, I'm trying to recruit him, but yeah, I'll take that one too.
Yeah. Love that. So you got some things in the pipeline cooking? Should put a couple, what do you got on the board right now? Anything?
We're gonna put this one pending, we had 2 closes the past couple weeks. We have a buy sell, we have another one that just went through a course, who wants to do a small renovation on her primary, she has an investment that she's gonna buy, so there's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think we have like 7 that we could move in the next like 60 days.
Okay, so you could have, does that, that's not including the 2 close?
Correct. But
You could have 9 by Q1.
it'd be really, really tight to finish by the end of March, but hopefully by the end of April, we'll be in double digits. That's, I mean, that's the goal, though. Like, we're gonna,
That's excellent.
39 is our goal. Like, and I wanna keep that goal high, because it's going to keep pushing.
Yeah,
Like, I need it, like, if my goal is 20, I wouldn't be pushing to start now, because it wouldn't have the urgency that I need to stay in the moment to push for it.
I love that.
You know, because like at 20, it's like, cool, I've cooked 6 in a month before, and I can do that in September if I'm at 12. And then I can, you know, schlep a couple across the line at the end of the year. Because I want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I've been riding a roller coaster for too long.
Yeah. How about you, Dave?
I've got a few buy sells that should pop in the next 30 to 60 days. And then I've got a new listing coming up end of the month. So,
There's 7.
yeah, she's a repeat too. She was a buyer of mine back in May of 21,
Excellent.
or 22, I'm sorry, May of 22, and she wants to sell it, so.
She settled on something and now she wants to sell and.
She found
get what
love.
She really wants?
She found love, so they're moving to Omaha.
Oh, okay.
So,
Does he have a house in Alma?
they're gonna, he has a place that he's renting, so they're gonna get married, do all that fun stuff, and then call me back up to find a house after that, so. All right, she's like, I still wanna make this drive, and I'm like, yeah, but you work in Novi, so you're gonna make the drive from Alma to Novi?
Where's Alma?
Alma is,
Just south of Mount Pleasant.
yeah,
Okay,
it's an hour and 34-minute drive when she has to leave.
all right, great.
Looking if she only does that a couple times a week, so. Most parts are cool.
I just lost an agent yesterday that drives 45 minutes and doesn't come to the office. Hi.
Sorry, we're a little late.
You Here, we lost one?
Yeah. My sister-in-law.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, that, we can move that if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go through that. Right on that drive. But that's good.
But yeah, it's
Do you have
nice
anything closed yet this year?
Not for sure. Okay, I was hardcore slamming everything in because my cap was open, so I was hardcore like blasting everything in for my cap.
Yeah.
But I have things, at least I have a decent pipeline to go ahead and try to, my goal is to cap again in July.
Awesome.
So that's the focal line right now, is getting it done and capping in July, so I have more of the year than I did last year.
Well, you sound like you're on track. You have 7. Probably close around the first quarter. That's great.
No, the pipeline, but I've been hardcore lead genning every morning, so I'm not letting the gas off. So.
What's your lead gen look like every day?
It's mailers and phone calls. That's my world from 8:30 to, you know, other than when we have the mastermind, from about 8:30 to about 11.
Okay.
And then I take a little bit
Database?
of break and database, lead sources that we've gotten, you know, stuff that we've done from online, whatnot that we've done from Vivid, and just piling it through.
Yep. How are the conversations going for you right now?
A lot of them are just trying to see what the market and when's a good timing. That's no different than, like I said, this listing that I've got coming up. She was just like, I'm not under, like, I've gone to sell the home, but I'm gonna listen to you when you tell me to pull the trigger. And so that's really what, you know, the conversations have been like, do we pull the trigger now or do we hold up? And I'm like, what is your end goal? Because that's going to matter.
Yeah.
If you want to get ahead of the competition, I'm gonna tell you to pull the trigger sooner than later. Because rates are gonna continue to adjust, whatever, and all bets are off, but you don't want to be that one up against 50 other houses.
Yeah.
And right now, the inventory is still down, so let's get up ahead of everything.
Tons
You
of
look like a rock
opportunity
star.
right now. And just what you guys missed, like, I was just asking everybody how their pipeline's looking right now. Scott's at 7 or 8, gonna pop or close by maybe first quarter, maybe the end of April. 7 in your pipeline. What do I do? You gotta have a pipeline.
One solid in my pipeline, I've got like 3 or 4 that are like pretty useless. Just got a call yesterday from someone that was expired, I reached out to forever ago that I've been keeping in touch with. But he either wants to list with like a 595, throw it on the MLS person. So he needs a certain number. He was listed last year with better. The house was under contract for that, it needed a new septic and roof. So he put that both on and then he just hasn't done anything. I don't know what that number he wants is, he won't tell me. And I'm gonna come in with like a huge, I just looked up last night, I have a huge range, I don't have.
Where was he listed previously?
The house is on, right off the Allen Road, Lassen and Allen. It's like a 3,000 square foot ranch on 2.6 acres with a private lake. It's listed at 8, they dropped down to 750. They went under contract there.
But he put us at taking up 35, so that's
Yeah.
gonna be
100,000.
100, yeah. I know.
But he's not gonna get any more money for it. So
No.
like the range of the home
It's
is like
bringing
7.
it up, it's bringing it up to selling standard.
Yes.
Like they wrote the offer on the house, probably thinking the septic was in good shape and that the roof was solid. Putting a new roof on it doesn't add to the value.
I mean, such doesn't need.
It's up to selling standards, so I mean, I'd probably put it back up at what he went under contract at. We're coming into a spring market, now you can advertise it with a new roof and a new septic field and hope that the market pays more, but
I mean, it's ranked online at like 750. And the house is gorgeous.
Oh,
I mean,
it
it's
is.
like custom. I mean, it's got like the wood inlaid ceiling in the library. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like it's probably nicer than that house I sold to Milford.
Really?
Yeah.
really,
It's really nice.
Well, that's it.
But it's out in friggin', it's out there. I mean, it's on the
not
dirt
too
road.
far.
Where's it at?
How far down,
Allen and Ladson.
how far down Allen is it?
Half mile. It's Heartland Schools. Village Township Heartland Schools.
It is Heartland Schools right there. So if you take Ladson to Allen, you're making a right,
Yes.
Latson's the cutoff, right,
Is there any
for school districts.
okay? Man, maybe 800.
Yeah.
I mean,
If it was in Milford, it'd probably be 950.
And then go back to Better's listing, look at what, she missed or what she didn't do a good job with. I mean, get a drone video of that thing.
take an 8.
Huh?
Take an 8.
That's on that thing.
Take an 8 day and run 72 sold hard.
Yeah,
I mean, because that seems like it.
oh yeah, you walk in there with 72 sold.
That's what I'm going in with. I mean, he already knows the program. He already watched the video from the weekly thing I was sending out. So he was like, oh yeah, I know that. And I was like, well, I'm like, these are some of the houses. And he's like, I don't care about highs and lows. What do you think? I was like, that's one of my lows. That's good. Like I averaged, I don't think I had a home sales that they sold under 15% over comp.
Yeah, and that's a good one. Excited for you on that.
I'm like, I was doing those handwritten letters. Last night I had 5 people reach out to me. So another mailing just had about 100 letters and I got 8 or 9 responses from them.
People reaching back out to you on expired letters.
Not even expired letters. This is just like, I have a buyer, would you consider selling your home?
Wow,
But handwritten, like all the difference in the world.
yeah. And those just reached out to you when? This week?
3 were last week and then
I had 4 that called me from the letter, and then 1 lady talked to her neighbor, the neighbor called me. She passed on my information to the neighbor who's she's already listed them, she's going on live Saturday.
Okay,
It's still like
yep, still,
a conversation.
yeah.
Tracy the letter.
It's literally like, dear, it's handwritten, so it's dear, whoever the name is, would you consider selling your house at 123 Main Street to a client of mine? Question mark, sincerely,
How good is your handwriting?
terrible.
That's
Like
all I'm
maybe he's a
thinking, like,
doctor.
They're like, what does
Yeah,
this
if
even
Mike
say?
wrote
And
ours,
it's not-
like,
So
we
because
got
the
the
neighbor.
I got the left hand. so
I get
I
Morse code back.
I know, like, I know what my
Anything
client's looking for.
a
so
spy.
I'm looking at
Oh,
ranches.
okay.
I'm not spending I'm looking at neighborhoods that have a higher percentage of ranches, and I'm just blanketing this neighborhood.
Do you actually have buyers that are?
No, I do have a buyer for that, they're up to like 1.2, so we're hitting.
That's awesome.
I mean, the one guy in that, he was already talking to a realtor for the buy, he's probably gonna use her, but like, I'm still talking to him all the time, he's cool with me conversating with him. Another guy the next street over was thinking about doing something, they were gonna live in their house probably later into the summer. But he started saying he's gonna reach out to me, that's like $750, looking at a condo in Birmingham. I bitch. This other guy that called me yesterday was an old mortgage guy, but he gave me 3 of his neighbors like contact information. Cause I go, that lady died, but that house is a tear down. Like $9 million home.
wow,
They can spend, I don't know, it's working,
yeah, well,
but nothing sticking into anything.
that's all right. It
That
will.
mo- it'll all
It
go
will.
price.
Yeah, you're gonna know 9 million in June.
Right.
Or 3 million. or 4 million. Yeah, like, it's really how it's gonna work. How about you, how's your pipeline looking?
I have 300 contract closing this month. So I'm stoked about that.
Did you close anything in January?
No,
Okay,
this is what happens to me. It's
Yeah.
like all at once, but through crazy inspections and stuff. So anyways, they're all closing this month, which is great. And then, I have 3 buyers that are still looking actively. And then I have like 5 to 7 buying people that are sellers, but also want to buy, but looking for the purchase rate. So doing something like that into a neighborhood would be great.
100%.
It's just all spirally.
Yeah.
Just keep staying, so.
You guys seen anything popping in the pipeline or?
Yeah,
No, not?
we have 1 active buyer, first time home buyer right now. He's a bit of a slow roll, but we're working with
Yeah,
him.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, we had a seller, a listing consult for a place in Birmingham, and we had to do it Zoom because of the weather, so we're going out there in a couple weekends. So that's a potential. We've got like 3 potential buyers and that we're meeting with in the next month to a month and a half. And then we have a listing this spring. That's pretty certain. She's gonna use us. It's just she's building up north.
Yep.
And then we have that one you want to share about like what we need for soon, Jeff, so that we can sell their $900,000 home.
Yeah, we need a horse farm, not even a horse farm, we need a place that can hold 4 horses. We have to have a barn that has 4 stalls. That's really it, I mean,
Like 400,000 or less. on
yeah,
that
probably
one.
4,000 or less.
Where at?
So I have something off market, but it's probably 9.
Anywhere north, and I really think about this, north of 96, west of US 23, and probably south of, I would say Flint, so like that box up there.
Yeah.
Like in,
We got a really gorgeous custom home and.
the crazy part, yeah, I mean, so they have a beautiful 10-acre place up in Fowlerville with a crazy beautiful horse barn and beautiful house that, and they're gonna build a house in Tennessee, so if they can sell, they wanna get a house that is like a temporary house, a house they can kind of maybe keep for a while while they build in Tennessee.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
if we
family
can,
here too, grandkids.
How many horses does the seller one currently hold?
they need spots for 4 horses,
How many is
I
per?
think, how much does that one holds? At least 6.
6 or 8.
Yeah, it's a big,
Yeah, but it's a beautiful,
it's
He's in commercial, he's in, the trades, so they have a pole barn hooked to this horse barn, and the pole barn is like incredibly beautiful. And then the house itself is, it's like this ranch, it's beautiful custom, and it's like heated floors in the basement, heated, I mean, the house is, attention to detail in the house. We've already had Mike Wilmot, talked to Mike Wilmot about it, because, yeah, Wilmot, I'm sorry, because it's like, hard to comp, and hard to get the value of it.
Sure.
Dirt road in Fowlerville, talking about, you know, dirt road in Fowlerville that Mike's like, no cell phone, $900,000 up there.
Yeah.
You can't, again, I get his name. If it was in Milford, if it was in Milford and Brighton, it would be,
Stuff
you
is
know,
so 10 anywhere.
it'd be 1.2 million if it was like, you know.
Yeah.
In Milford, Brighton, but it's not, so. So they want to sell that, but we have to find them a place. And I found her a place in Gregory, which was not, it's not that far south of 96. They go, nope, that's the wrong direction. I told you, you know the haystack. I'm thinking about actually doing a mailing thing, like I know like this drive up there, like in like northern Heartland, and just like drive by houses that have a barn and say, I just want to buy this house for you.
I mean, so when I was looking for my house and I was lead generating prospecting to find my house, I was just finding everything that was on 5 acres or more. And that's what I was calling through and mailing.
It doesn't matter if they works for the house or not.
Yeah,
You turn them into a listing eventually.
Right.
that was my best year ever. I had 90% of my business was listings because I was looking for my own house.
Okay.
And I was getting appointments for these 5 to 20 acre parcels of people who were going to sell. And I would call and say, hi, my name's Dominic, I'm a local real estate agent. I'm working with a family that's looking for a home specifically in the area on 5+ acres, preferably with a pole barn, but if not, room for one. And then when they would say, well, we're thinking about selling, I'd be like, great. I want to be fully transparent. I'm actually the buyer. I'd love to come take a look at it and see if it'll work for my family. If not, I'm still a professional real estate agent and I'd love to talk to you about helping you sell it. And that's what I would do. Some houses I ended up bringing the family to go look at because they were potential. Others were not. And I sold literally, there was an almost $12 million year and 90% of them were sellers, all properties that were similar to mine. Like my average sales price that year was $360,000.
Did you buy a house that year?
Yeah,
So you bought one.
yeah, I found it, somebody else listed it, they wanted more, I wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was on Golf Club Road and I called Golf Club Road. I ended up listing a house on Golf Club Road because of those calls. It's kitty corner from my house on 10 acres.
Okay. That's what we're doing next week.
Yeah, this is great. So it's all the same thing that I'm seeing when I'm outside of this room talking to agents. When I talk to Megan Zoll, she's doing the things, she's working her database, she's sending out some mailers, and her pipeline is growing. I mean, everyone consistently who's doing the things daily, it consistently has somewhere around 10 potential deals in their pipeline that should close around Q1 of this year, which is phenomenal. We're gonna have a great year. It is just gonna take going through the motions, consistently mining our databases and leads, right? I'm seeing it across the board. I coach multiple people every single week.
This Birmingham one, I'm hopeful for, was actually, was my next door neighbor growing up, and she's, I just saw her post on Instagram, like, hey, she got a job transfer to Philadelphia, so like immediately I like derailed her. And she was like, I'm gonna be interviewing her. So her main probably objection, because I think she felt really good about our Zoom consult, is like, we're not Birmingham realtors. And it's not like, for her, it's not like, it's just, I want to ask her, I need to have that conversation when we go see her, like, you know, ask her the questions about that, because that's her sort of one thing she asked us, that she was like, have you guys ever sold a house in Birmingham? But we came in with a price point that she felt really good about when we were talking, so I don't think it's that, you know, I think at first she thought maybe we weren't going to understand that in Birmingham, things go way higher for a smaller, you know.
Sure.
So, but we do understand that, so, hopefully when we have the next conversation with her, when we actually go out to the house, we can, if it comes up, or we'll bring it up, that whole idea of hyper local versus us.
Sure. I think the conversation around that, obviously, when you get to face and you get to build that rapport, explaining that we're all fishing the same pond,
Yeah,
right? It's all the same MLS, whether we're here or there. We are a national company, largest company on the planet. And, you know, no matter where we reside or where our home office is, you know, our territory is the state of Michigan. Some agents choose to work super hyper local. Some agents choose to work all over the state. You know, we like to stay within the Metro Detroit area. You know, we study the market daily. We're always looking. And, you know, you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it doesn't matter whether you're in Brighton or you're in Birmingham. We want to know what you love about your community in this house, in this, you know, right in this neighborhood. No matter what, it could be a neighborhood over from mine, and I talk to you, and part of the selling features of that house are your passion around it, right? Go there, that's part of the 72 sold strategy. I think that you'd be okay.
If you had, my wife grew up in Birmingham, so we're pretty comfortable in that area, so if you need anything, have that, feel free to reach out. Just because we know that area really, really well, because of that, they were there for 30 years. So yeah, anything we can do now, my coach is actually she's in Bloomfield Hills, so she grew up in Birmingham, she can make her bring if you want to. Anything we can do.
Yeah, and when you go to price a house like that, you can also say, you know what? We always like to get, you know, a second set of eyes or a third set of eyes on our market analysis. And again, it doesn't matter if it's in Brighton or Howell or if it's in Birmingham. And, you know, we have some relationships with other Keller Williams agents out of this area, and we feel very confident in this number. Here's our market.
I mean, what's a hyper local agent gonna do? Different. They might
Yeah.
have a buyer that's going into the house, but do you want someone representing no one, or do you want someone representing you?
Yeah.
Right, might not have a buyer for your house, but if I do bring it, I double dip, like, it's a lose-lose for everyone, except for me.
I think for her, it's just, I think, I mean, and I would too, if I was in that market, it's real, I mean, choose families, like you said, constantly from realtors.
Where's it at?
It's, like, it's south, it's like down by Cole Road, it's it's like by Cole Road, it's, like south, kind of, east of town.
Walking distance.
Walk downtown.
Okay, so just east of Woodward?
Yes,
Okay.
just east of Woodward, south of, or not, across the street, but, yeah, it's,
Sort of like across from North Vincetta.
so, I think. I'll say, size. This, I mean, it's super nice, walking downtown.
I mean, that's awesome.
It is.
Nice corridor, it's cool, it's active.
There's a lot of tear downs down the street right now. I mean, they're tearing down houses and building,
Transition.
building, $1 million homes. Their homes were built in 2019, it's probably about 800. Price point per house, 1,700 square feet. With the French basement. I'm on the street.
Yeah. One of my best friends, her ex-husband, Lynch Homes, they do a ton of stuff. They're doing knocking down, the old homes, and they're building now and like high tech homes.
Yeah.
You see videos of them. It's like, how do I get connected with them?
Different tangent, but I know we mentioned it at a meetings every other week, but is there a sheet or Google Doc we can put up where it's like buyer needs? And I know like we post them on a page, but like hearing that you have an off market or something, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
for buyer needs and or, I mean, listings coming okay, but at least you know something's coming. Or it's just like price point, ish acreage maybe.
Not a horrible idea.
Because I know some
That'd be
people say
something
them,
we
some
could
people
do.
don't, and I feel like I'm out further east, so maybe people don't have something for me, but maybe they do, you know, like,
Yeah.
everyone, you know, like Robin's further south, I'm further east, so,
But I
you
think
know.
you'd be surprised, like, they work in your area, but
Right,
Julie
right.
just put up a new
Yeah.
one, white like I am up in your area, a lot, like, I think we all, you know, dabble in there.
Yeah.
You know, so I know that Mark and Jim were putting a list together of upcoming listings and off-market possibilities, so it's gonna be something where we try to expand that, where you can put your stuff on there, or put stuff on there.
Like on the KWL page,
Yeah, they were just trying to do it where it was like, if you're willing to put your stuff that's coming up on here, we'll share what's coming up, you know, so it's not
for
like,
sure.
it's not everyone gets to see it, like, you gotta share your stuff if we're gonna share our stuff.
I like the idea, but like, I mean, I think that we have some people are, you know, spirited. If we knew something, they may be interested.
Exactly, like I have
Say,
so
hey,
many
something's coming
sellers
up.
that they won't go unless they find that perfect
Yeah.
property, but if we can find a perfect property before it hits.
Yeah.
Google sheet and then link to it through the website, you
That's what
know.
Perna does. They have like,
Yeah.
they're coming soon,
Yeah.
and like,
that's
I'm
exactly
still
what I
active
was
to
just
it,
Thinking of.
so I can still see all the stuff they have coming soon, but I look at it, anything with my have buyers, so I know the agents, I just reach out and be like, hey.
Yeah.
We still have that.
They never shut down half the
I love
access and
them.
stuff, I think, but like, it's just a Google form, a Google sheet, and you just go and you just share it to whoever, and you take them out, and
Like maybe cities or something like that, you know.
they do it by area, right? So
Yeah.
Perna's huge, and they'll do it by either by county, and then like Oakland County, they're obviously breaking it down.
So you go on the Google sheet and you fill out your coming soon.
I don't do it still,
Or not,
but like,
but
but
if
yes,
you-
I still, they don't, like, agents don't do it, the office does. But yeah, it shows everything that's signed
Oh, okay.
to the agent.
So it's everything that's signed,
Yeah.
but just not on market yet.
Fire needs pushing.
I mean, we could do it however,
Yeah.
and that's just how Perna does it. We don't do a lot of. we don't do a lot
I think with people being so hesitant to sell right now until they find something, buyer needs are huge.
Yeah.
Figure something out.
We did that with
Simple
Lincoln
Google
years ago.
tabs
We did
that
that.
always at the bottom.
Yeah.
How cool is it when you're walking into a presentation, and you can have that, you know, sheet that you can pull up, it's like, look at, this is all the, you know, stuff that we have, you know, buyers looking in your area, or sellers that are ready to move, if you're ready to move, so we have possibilities when we sit down for presentation.
Yeah, virtual meetings for sure.
It's like I'm gonna tell my office about your listing, but wouldn't it be great if we could find
Right.
something too, you know?
Right.
We're starting with
We got an
that.
idea.
Is it by
They, right now, they were renting out, they were leasing out one of the paddocks for a company that was doing tours in Lincoln. Once in a while.
Please come.
Five to 6 years.
Like, we had that a couple years ago in Woodland Lake.
She wants to buy property.
We had that site
but
where,
she'll
like,
spend more than that.
We knew someone that maybe want to sell, we keep talking about a house in Florida, they weren't ready to move yet.
Super.
And we had a buyer that,
Smaller.
I want a house on the
So, like,
lake.
Property
People
was
like,
great.
huh,
She
one
wants
house on the
to
lake,
story
these people,
or something.
by the time we moved to Florida for years, let's put them together, and we did, I mean, we're gonna do both sides of the deal. And,
Alright.
since that kind of zoning stuff.
So what we're talking
Going
about,
to it. all the
is-
way where-
really good idea, is coming up or creating a Google form for buyer needs and coming soon. Essentially listings, that people who would list if they find something or buyer needs. And making it a page on the KWL website, so that we can go in and search the basically off-market inventory. So we know that Zach has a house in Milford coming up. And it doesn't have to have the exact address, they can reach out to the agent to get more information on it. Buyer needs and coming soon would be huge, because with all the agents in here, that's a database that we have that's off-market. We can start matchmaking and getting in-house deals.
We can do that, and then I can just create like a drive and all of like each one in there like separately.
The buyer needs one concerns me, only because there's 170 of us, and like, you could just throw people in there, and you can throw buyer needs, and it could just get one or two quick. That's the only thing, like.
But it's by town or whatever.
You can
Right.
just, you can just
Stumble
sort it
upon
right in the
something.
Google sheet, or you can just make it some sorted by
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
If people wanna put their stuff on there, maybe their obligation is they need to update it monthly, like if your person owns something.
Yeah,
Like once a month, you need to go in there and.
well, by the end of the day today. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it probably will, but- I'm gonna say
Set it up
Monday
where
and
it's a
say
Google
it.
form,
I
where
like
it's just a
it, yeah.
link.
Yeah.
And everyone just
I
types
do
in
agree,
the
though.
Google form and it
It's
just
gotta be
populates
cleaned up,
the
it's gotta
stuff.
stay,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's gotta stay cleaned up, we can't be like,
Yeah.
buying these 3 years ago that.
no,
Yeah.
If you do it, like, through the Google form, could you have a drop down where it goes by like county or school district or both?
I will take what is put into the Google form and put it into a spreadsheet, so then you guys are able to search all that. Make it a little more clean, because the way that the Google form spreadsheets are created, it looks a little wonky sometimes, so I'll just clean it up. And then, like, monthly,
I mean, that could be something you put on there too, like city, school district.
yeah.
Well, but you're adding the job for yourself to, because are you saying that, because if we just fill out the form and it would just go right into the spreadsheet,
Yes.
but you don't like that because,
So it looks like it wouldn't be easy for you guys to search from the like response spreadsheet, so I'll just take all of those responses and put them into a cleaner spreadsheet and share that on the website too.
Is there a way you just could create like an Excel spreadsheet, you enter in the, then you don't have to do that extra transfer?
It
Yeah.
shouldn't be too much, spreadsheets taking like 10 minutes. Pretty,
The
pretty
problem
quick.
with that is that people aren't gonna be filling it out right, or people are gonna be sharing it.
So I
Whereas
can,
if you just have it, not share only, not
yeah,
edit.
yeah, for
For the one
sure,
that we
that's how
see,
I've
And
had
then
all
just
of
do Google
those.
Sheets that we would do.
And
That
then
makes
I'll
it
just
easy.
audit it like one thing, make sure it's stuff in there.
Mark? So we're talking to Angelina about putting together on the KWL agents website, a tab of buyer needs and, basically coming soon, because we have a lot of sellers that would sell if they could find the house, right? Steam holes, poking that. She's gonna do a Google sheet and then,
Yes,
then create a spreadsheet off of it.
I can tell you guys that's one of our best responses, to get us off our properties.
So you go into a listing and you say, or,
I did a lot of it. Yeah, so KWL, what is it? It's the individual agent website you're saying?
no,
No, it's, I created like an entire market center website with resources for everybody. So
And
it's
then
really
you
on there.
want, who's gonna add the information into the website? You will.
I will buy, so agents will fill out a form with the information and then I'll take that and put it into another spreadsheet that's
You're
not.
gonna require they have a signed contract, right? They have to get it. Because that's what we do with our market. I'm not telling anyone about your property until I have a signed agreement with you, right? That's our agent's policy. Off-market stuff is really tricky. Right? It's great for responses. It's great to get people going. It's great to stand out as a buyer. It's the easiest thing to control posts. Buyers never want to buy off-market properties as owner occupants. Why just me? No one else wants it. Why am I just doing this? So it's a great tool to get people out there going. I think more so than get transactions from it per se. That's what we're noticing, right? I send people properties that are off market all the time. I know they will like. Oh, thanks so much, blah, blah, blah. Now it's not for us. Cool, see ya. Right, so it's like a good follow tool that way, but it's gonna be hard at a brokerage level.
Other problem with, they have to be signed for coming soon because you can't market. You
But you want
can't
it to be
just legally
signed.
market something that isn't signed, like that's.
It has to be signed,
Yeah.
because you have to have disclosures, you have to have, representation agreement and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely challenges that pose, right? So it's just kind of what you get to do with it. And then you have to have a conversation with your seller. All of our agents have a conversation with your seller. You can't market yourself market prior to going live. Some people know, right? Because it's like, okay, what if I do bring it? It is the number you said you wanted. Now you're pissing people off because they don't do it. Well, we want multiple offers. Right. A real off-market deal, you have to know what you're doing. I would say, So like, how would you market it right?
So should we stick it to
And you can't actually
Fire
market.
needs.
fire needs?
It's like, I appreciate what you're saying, but it's a lot more complicated than I was kind of looking for the casual conversation, hey, you got some, hey, that's like trying to work, but I hear you about that now.
Be like off market, could you be vague and be like, I have a house coming in the city, this square footage is acreage, bedroom count that, or is that not
So
like a range?
if your technology will allow it, automate crap, right? So the way my technology is all my agents are on the same CRM, and they're all doing the same services. So whether we're going to a listing appointment, or we have upcoming off market, I can filter out the entire database of search portals. So everyone looking at Milford Highland Commerce, and this price point, I have it automatically just email it out, hey, we have an off market coming up, it's in your price point, make sure somebody. Right, so you can kind of get all the actions that way. And then like when we go to listing appointments, they do best profit matches. So then we go, okay, just so you know, and agents before you come in and say they have buyers. Yeah, don't, right? I do too, but here's the actual proof. So I have a screenshot of my CRM. Here's all of our buyers on search portals that are looking for a home like yours. In this area shows the criteria that we filtered it out from. It's 100 people almost every time. This is where I started, if you hire me. So there's a lot you can do with it, but if the automation isn't there, and I think if everyone's not on the same data page, it's not as beneficial as if everyone's on the same page, everyone's using the same strategy. It's just not like, because we've talked about doing a Google Sheet at least, right?
Yeah.
Like that was one of our first original things. Google Sheet, add in, you can go boost your clients and see what's there. I think there's benefit to that everyone can do on their own individual basis. So like, if you're gonna put it on, you're gonna put it on like a public website, is that the idea, maybe?
So we can also password protect different pages, so that's also an option, so it's.
Kind of what you want to
Yeah.
do, right? So then, that's very interesting, and my next call would be to an attorney for that marketing thing, or at least just talk to the board or whoever would bitch about it. Because if it works well, people will complain, right?
If you can pocket list to anyone in your brokerage, just not outside of the brokerage, right? Once you sign a listing, if it's not on the MLS yet, you can still talk to individual agents, but you just can't actively market.
I could
There's no
spend
point
my
in
last
whack
10
for
years
that.
in this business worrying about real house rules. For sure. They're bullshit rules.
Right.
Right? It's like, I'm not actively marketing it, that's your only requirement, right? There used to be no coming soon requirements. You used to have to be able to do it coming soon. So they just keep adding rules and changing stuff. And on my representations with my client, they're hiring me to sell their home. So I'm not going through reading your guidelines that you change everything, just word for word, when I know what I'm doing is helping my client. Right? Because the real thing too, is like what off-market marketing does is if I can take my seller's listing from one offer to two offers immediately. So I can cook it for a week before you even fully go on, or, right? Worth it. So I'm helping my clients by doing it. But I'm not doing it in a bad manner that's affecting any realtor or any client, or, right? It's not unethical the way I'm doing it.
We're gonna have a whole like a website coming, like comes.
I've seen it.
They had dropped it, they had completely dropped it, we got sued like all now. Or they got massive charges
Did they?
from Real Now or whatever.
Well, it was very public facing, because I
It was
saw
all public facing, and it was like on every
It was
email we
like
sent
our
out,
coming
it
soon
was our coming
listings.
soon list, and it was like. If I signed a listing that wasn't gonna go live in a year, we would throw it up there. I mean, I had some on there that were freaking forever, like 6, 7 months, because like they just never, they signed with me, but they never pulled the trigger to actually list. So we had them public facing for months,
And the main benefit is if you can capture the data that people look.
which is what they did, that's why they did it. They
If you're not capturing the data, it's completely useless to give them back. Right, to give the general public your
Yeah.
off-market stuff, it's completely useless unless you.
I mean, it's basically like advertising in the newspaper. If I did an advertisement at Keller Williams in the newspaper, and it said, all of our active listings, everybody's active listings, most of them are sold by the time the newspaper people read it.
Yeah.
We're looking for phone calls. Oh, sorry, that one's gone.
If you want it to be an internal unique advantage, you have to keep it internal. Right? If you're gonna go public facing, that's how facing.
No, I wouldn't wanna do it public facing.
No,
This
I would
is,
keep it
the whole idea is, he's got a listing in Milford that none of us know about, that we probably have a buyer for, right? It's not on the market right now, right?
But have you had a conversation with your seller, hey, if I bought you.
Well, she's not willing to list, like, she wants the for sale by owner it. I know it's up for sale, but she's not listing yet, she's not ready yet.
But it's
But
on.
for, it's not on the market. But I know she'd be willing to sell it if someone came in with an offer. Because I have a buyer that was like looking at the property. Price for the, but it's just, it didn't work out.
Yep.
So as a buyer, it would work great, but it's not gonna be a listing.
So it's like, yeah, if I can hook up someone off the market right now, bring her buyer now, it's helping me decide this thing, right? Yes, then.
Like, would you ask somebody for 25% referral?
Yeah, I mean, that's what,
Yeah. I mean, I would too, like,
I mean, I have probably 5 or 6 things like that,
So
that I know they're not gonna list, but I know they would bring, if a buyer came in, I'll do it for 25%.
Well, like I just told you, every listing we go to, we have at least. So, you guys were in my thing yesterday, you know, I'm a little data slut, right? I love it, give me all the data, I want all the people. But now that's the benefit, right? So like within your own CRMs and how you keep these people organized, who else in this room can then go, I mean, we have real time portals where you got. So that would be on an individual basis for that too, like. It's almost like the it almost be like an internal thing.
I'm thinking about, maybe I'm something else, I'm thinking about it, like, we have, this potential listing in Birmingham, which, the lady's not, we met with her, but she's not with other realtors yet. If I can bring her a buyer now, if I could like call her and say, I have a potential buyer for your house right now, she would likely just use us. And then we could, you know what I'm saying, if I go, hey, I got a house in Birmingham, you have 1,000, fucking this is downtown, Scott's kind of buy, put this thing together, I can then go to her and say, we have a buyer for you, like, only goals to maybe other people.
I mean, when I, like, the buyer I have when I'm doing Franklin, like, I'm going to these people and they're like, what would they offer? And I'm like, we would look at market value, a small premium, and there's no commission. My client's gonna pay cash for my commission. So as a sell, like, they're selling their home basically for sale by owner, they're not paying any commissions out of it. So it's a bonus to them, and then they get, I'm still getting my commission from whatever.
I will let us know.
You almost.
If they don't do it, then I try to transition them into a listing, right? So, but like, I'm at least offering that value, like, hey, you know, we're not gonna give you a huge amount of a listing. Then there's not gonna be no commission involved, so you're only gonna be paying like the 2% transfer tax and over 6 or 8 or.
It just, the main thing to all that success is just like, you can't allow anyone to come close to everybody. Right, so it's like a very serious conversation with seller. I'm not bringing my buyer here till you give me the absolute number. That's like, if they say yes, you're yes. Because I've seen so many off-market deals screwed up by people, who small stuff too. So I need to know when you can close by, I need to fill out a seller's disclosure before I bring a client here. Do this, do that, and I go, well, then I don't want you to do it. You wouldn't take the offer anyways if my client wanted. So sometimes it's tricky, right? And sometimes it's not best for that person to do anything off market. Right? So if you have that serious conversation with them, that's the only issue, right? It's like if we all just start dumping it in there, but no one's having like dialogue beforehand, everyone's gonna get mad at each other with brokerage, we're all gonna piss off our clients. And you know, I mean, I would even get on Jim's spot. He was having agents with their buyers show some of the stuff off market. The sellers removing goalposts. 525 over if you want off market, it's 535. You know, so they all do it though. So unless you're really, you know, so it's a whole different strategy and education process to get everyone. It's honestly, like as I said, if you want access to this off-market list and you want to add this off-market list to help your sellers, you have to go do this certification with the brokerage, honestly. Otherwise, no 1 year in agent should be dumping shit. Puts it blank, right? Like how many 1 year in agents have a lot of off-market stuff, but like, you're gonna You're not ready for it almost, I hate to say it.
But we can do it by our needs. Yeah, sheet, and we'll get that up. Did you guys all see the update on the lawsuit yesterday? That specifically, they talk about how franchisees and agents are protected from that, because there's been other lawsuits popping up all over the country. There's like
That's why they
6.
did it.
What's that?
That's why they did it. They threatened them from county jail lawsuits.
Yeah.
They settled against them.
It's money grabbing through the bank. That's all it was. So so Eric on Lotus, the mortgage guy that we have, he's also an attorney. So writing the lawsuit, and I'm like, Eric, what would an attorney make on a class action lawsuit? I guess he goes, oh, 33%. I didn't know.
So I thought it was more than that though. I thought it was like almost
40.
60. Yeah, it was.
I think it was
40.
40 for this one.
He said usually at that scale, right, it's size and dollar. He said at a minimum.
Yeah.
So whenever my clients ask me, it's like, I don't blame him for doing it. I would do it if I was an attorney. I'm sure it's every corporation I know.
Yeah, there was Keller Williams that were specifically named in different states and 6 different lawsuits. And they were literally just spider webbing to jump on the bandwagon. So,
And it's very clear, the only reason why sellers are paying buyer's agent commission is so you're holding to the law. If sellers are not paying buyer's agent commission, it hurts all the values, no one has the cash for it. And that's how my discussion has been holding. You might be like, don't want to pay buyer's agent commission. Oh, okay, so every other house they look at, they don't have to have an extra $9 grand out of pocket, but your house they do.
Right. Yeah.
Cool, that's a great marketing strategy.
You know what a 0% buyer leading commission is, like listing is? Pocket listing. It's me finding a buyer, and that's it. I'm the only agent looking for a buyer for your home. If you offer 0.
There might not be something wrong with that either, right? Right. You know, who am I to tell you how to make a plan? I'm not gonna show your house.
Right.
Who am I to tell you?
yeah. That's good. What do you guys have, since we're all in this room, there's a bunch of us? What are your buyer needs that you guys specifically?
I have a lady who wants either property and up to 500 or with a house, 5+ acres that has access to either Kensington, Pontiac Lake Rec, or Broad Lake. Wall Lake Schools, 3 to 4 bedrooms, up to 400. Waterford, White Lake, Highland, up to 350 with at least 2 full baths, because it's a master suite.
We're gonna have one lot in about a month.
We can run a lot. Okay.
It's like an acre, over an acre, and it will be 3 bedrooms, 3 baths.
Under 350.
You guys are be done with that in a month?
says-
5 weeks,
says 5 weeks.
probably. It'll be under.
You guys need to.
We just had my conversation this morning. She said, who do you,
You still have a spotlight?
Stagers suck. They all suck.
oh, come on, I know a couple of stagers.
They all-
Sorry.
They all suck. That I run into, just because it's very hard to time it all right.
Yeah.
Right? I've run through a ton of them. It's just, but it's always worth having. So like if you own the property, the hardest thing to do is to convince the seller to stage it.
Yeah.
I stage everything I sell, Drew stages everything he sells. Don't worry, don't get lost in it. We've all seen people buy homes for furniture.
Right.
It sucks, but you have to. Owner.
Or the closing costs.
They'll pay for it up front.
Charging.
And you rent, so like a staging contract now is 60 days. You don't got a lot of time. This home under contract, sold, and I gotta sell the house 3 times before it actually closes. That's why staging sucks, right? It's not necessarily the people or the thing, or whatever.
No,
It's like, when do I order this furniture? How? Right? If there's no occupancy, you're not gonna ask for occupancy for furniture. When you work it out, so you're gonna have that inner dialogue, and you're gonna have issues on the road, and so. But if you wanna go make them more grand yourself, that's quicker. Yeah.
Mhm.
I sold this identical condo 2 years apart, or a year apart. Well, one was December of COVID, or is when you couldn't legally show homes with COVID, so sneak people in there. That condo was 175. And then I sold another one a year later that was, I couldn't stage it with COVID, sold a year later staged with 250. Now, we know what prices did during that time, but the staging. There's no, it's impossible to get a data set you can believe in that this is what you get on staging, this is what you get staged, because you can't test it. There's so many other variables. Sorry, I came in here, but I'm not gonna say anything, let's look at that.
Oh, you're good. All right, so pipelines are good. I know that Cliff, you had a struggle yesterday. Want to tell us about your call yesterday?
Yeah, I'm learning. I was making, expired and withdrawn calls yesterday. And there was a contact with call that expired using Adrian, Michigan. I used to live in Blissfield years ago. Called and just ran through my expired script. One local agent. House. It expired, it was on the market for 9 months. Horrible experience with the agent. He had to write his own listing description. He had to take his own pictures, the agent's pictures for his cell phone. He said the agent never walked to the open house and was locked into this contract and just was over. He was very firm on the phone. He was very frustrated and agitated. I got the appointment to meet with him today at 2 o'clock. He asked where do I work out of, and I said, well, we have offices all over the state. But you know, I work in Brighton, we have offices in Howell, Oakland, but again, I got offices in Matron, I committed to Blissfield. And I used the line, it doesn't matter where I work out of, there's fire out there somewhere, my job is to find a fire, it can come from Cliff, it can come from Monroe, it doesn't matter, that's my job. He felt good and confident. He called me back about 25 minutes later. He said, hey, my wife looked up Keller Williams, she's got an office in Adrian. She doesn't want to work with someone that's not local. She wants to work with a local agent. And prefers to have someone here that's close by. So I said, again, I totally understand and respect that. And again, if I find a buyer that's in the road, what does that have to do with me and Adrian? He goes, well, you're gonna drive 2 hours to show my house? And I said, absolutely, that's what you pay me to do, that's what I do, that's what I do. So he said, no, my wife's just adamant about having someone here locally, she wants to work with a local person, someone that's close by, we have a need, we work here, not 2 hours away.
How many agents show their property?
Right, again, I'm learning, I was just happy to get an appointment.
No, that's awesome. That's
But
great.
I didn't know how to overcome that one. I threw it, I knew to throw, but
Sometimes you can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm worried at.
But the positive side is that you converted it to an appointment. Like, you got through the objections, you did a great job.
When is the appointment scheduled for?
It was supposed to be today at 2 o'clock.
The only way you're
Fully
getting
cancel it?
No, he called me back and said his wife's not working with someone that's not working.
The only way you get out of that is with questions. Was the last realtor you hired for?
Right.
Yeah, it's like there, I mean, I use a special agent, so it shows like the agent, the office, and all that, they were located on.
I literally would have said that, because you know they'd say yes, and I would just went, No, I would literally, Listen, I would love to be an aging specialist, those realtors started.
He was down, and he was, he clipped, but his wife, and that's what he said, yeah, it's my wife.
Just so you know, right, when you feel like you're losing them, right in the dialogue, you have to go a little more extreme. Like, I crank, like, you hate me at the end, who cares?
Right.
They're gonna think about you, though, if you say something that makes them go, oh, right? And it's, a lot of it's like, I'm the one driving, not you, I'm already planning my day around this, I don't mind if I drive out there and you guys don't hire me either. I'd love to meet you and the wife and talk more about it, but like,
It's about getting fixed. It doesn't matter if they want to do it or not. I would still show up.
you know. Yeah. But you got it that far, that's awesome. I mean, how many other conversations have we gotten not to be appointment? Right, so, it's awesome, it's good. And always when like, we notice it where someone, you do something great, or you set an appointment, you get something going, and then you lean back, wow. Last time set another appointment is when you're gassed up from that last one, or you're like ready to go, or you just overcame something and then now you're. When you got to stay, you got to go. If you had 3 appointments scheduled next week, you wouldn't care if one canceled. So,
That's what I'm hearing too, because I'm calling a lot of the drawings, there's no home to buy. So I spoke to a lady named Elvira, and she's selling a home in Birmingham Hills for $788. But she took the market because she's looking specifically for Lake Orion or Oxbow Lake. And the budget is around 550, so she can find a home that meets the criteria. I asked her, well, what do you mean it meets the criteria? What do you?
That's not gonna
What
happen.
are you looking for?
That's just not an option on those lakes.
And, yeah, that's
Maybe
what
20
she
years
said.
ago.
She's looking for custom floors, she put custom chandeliers
Oh,
in,
geez.
you know, she's like, it has to be.
So that's still an appointment, right? I would
Yeah.
still set that appointment to sit down with her, with your computer in front of you and say, you know what, Elvira, is that Elvira? Like, you know, I completely understand your struggles and what you're dealing with. Has anyone sat down with you, look at, you know, all of the comparable properties and the market specifically for those lakes? Because I would love to do that with you. Whether you work with me or not, as a real estate professional, it's my job to help guide you and show you exactly what's happening in the market. Set that appointment to sit down and just bring your computer and say, Elvira, you specifically said you wanted to live on one of these 2 lakes. Let's look at everything in the last 1,000 days that has either gone active, pending, sold, or expired on those lakes. And let's see if any of these houses would have met your criteria and what the price point would be.
While you're in front, you can always start whittling down like what her specific criteria is, and literally she'll watch the map do this. And get real quick in a big hurry, that buyer goes, wait a minute, maybe that's a want, not a need.
Right.
And they'll fix their world instantaneously in front of you, and then you can always back up. But that initial scare will break reality real quick.
Yeah,
We okay too to call both those people back. Don't let it let them go quite yet.
Yeah, when you get someone with those goals, I mean, it doesn't matter what it's for, the goal is to get from. Because statistically, they're gonna use you if you need it.
Was getting over the call, and now I'm getting better with the calls, and now I'm getting more callbacks, I'm getting more conversations, and now we're just recording myself. I know I'm getting better because I'm getting more conversations, but it's the closes that I'm still, you know, I have all the scripts. But I mean, turns out it's more of a conversation, and I think that's sort of like the point, like, hey, let's sit down and just show you what the call.
Yeah.
And it even dawned on me, it was like, okay, let's do that. I like custom floors, I like that chandeliers, I like all.
excellent.
Well,
if
Last
you
year,
just
there was
say,
something like, you're gonna say no to this house with everything's perfect except for the glass chandelier. Take it to extremes is for sure, like, that's
I
another
always
thing to go, like, when we were, like, part of that's like the number one thing, like, awesome. Push. Take it to extremes. Oh, I'm looking for a home in Michigan. Great, so you're looking at Traverse City? No, I'm not looking out there. How about downtown Detroit? No, okay, so then let's realistically look at what you're doing, like where you're actually.
is there a reason why you want the 2 most expensive lakes in the area?
Right.
That's where I'm getting better. I think that's where I'm going.
I can imagine too, right? Imagine if Dominic had you on a salary of $150,000, you were super happy, right? You're not worried about money today. And he said, the only thing you're allowed to do is help. What would you do with it? Right? Hey, your job's to help them. So you should meet with her, you should walk through this process. You should go like, hey, look, I know what you're thinking, but what if nothing shows up in the next 20 years on these 2 lakes? Right? Are you okay staying here? Or stay? Anything you want to do to the house to stay here? contractor renovate the kitchen. That's why you should. Yeah, because if you just go, I'm doing nothing but helping you, and then you go, okay, cool, I actually supposed to. Oh yeah, let's just, like we're teaching a lot of our agents to have the dialogue right now with a reverse mortgage. And I go, you all are thinking this won't help you. A reverse mortgage, I'm talking to you staying in this home. Right, you're draw equity and you're gonna live the rest of your days here. But they're probably thinking about it, so we can have a real discussion about it. They go, next year. Right, but if you ignore it, because that's the thing that's a financial benefit, you're not going through the whole sequence of, I'm not gonna do this, that, I'm not gonna do this, that. You're gonna avoid this one, just gonna talk, so talk about it all. All right, Nate, don't worry about that. So like, Tom, he's calm, right? Everyone's sitting Tom calm. He does so much mental prep before he gets in here, and you can feel it, see it. He's never had, and very honest with me, this amount of money is like his life, but he mentally goes, I cannot get involved. I do have, because it affects your dialogue. 100%.
You gotta stop thinking of yourself as salespeople, like, and it's truly the real way. If people see you as a real estate professional, as a real estate, as their agent, right, as their consultant, and you go in there saying, I don't care if you stay, or if you move, let me be your agent, let me be your consultant, let me be your resource for you, let me help you. If you're gonna stay here for 10 years, great, I'm gonna stay in touch. Like, but they smell commission breath. They feel like you're a salesperson. The sales part happens when you're negotiating. Right? And you are negotiating with your own clients at times, but you're also negotiating with the seller's agent or buyer's agent, right? Or lender or whoever, right?
So with that objection you had about the accommodation, it's gonna haunt you for a while, right? You're gonna loom on it, you're just sitting in bed looking at the ceiling, and watch this, and it's gonna come again. So it's worth the exercise of going, well, what have I said? What should I say next? And if it's anything different than questions, stop saying it. Right? Because then the questions are so much more powerful. Like literally, if you're about to statement someone, shut up. It's that powerful. My appointment setters, question. Jim, if you have, like, because Jim does a lot of dialogues, I know you can tell who is on internet meets. Jim will say the right things, but he'll tell you. I'll get to the same point when I asked. So like Adrian person, when was the last time you sold a home? Let me pull back, right? So I did that feeling yesterday, right? Like you feel people go, I want to sell my house, then hyper focus, my head's down about this stupid real point, right? Just pull their head up. When was the last time you sold a home? 20 years ago. Okay, is that the strategy you guys went with 20 years ago? Yeah. Real estate's changed a lot since then. I have clients all over the state, and they all love me, and they all reuse me. There's something to it. So why are you sure you really want the local person? Like it takes 36 career transactions to know what you're doing. It takes 100 to be a pro. 20 homes a year selling Adrian. By how many agents? So your Adrian specialists, they better be 20 years in the business. Otherwise, there's no way they're gonna know what they're doing. I have to go outside of Adrian to get the transactions to move off of, and to board all these systems of technology and marketing that your Adrian specialists can't. It's reality of it. I would love to be the Adrian specialist, but I have to charge you 8% commission. I could be the Michigan specialist, so I can charge you 6%. I mean, however it is, right? I've never said that thing. What do you think of that? You guys are not, I'm like, yeah, that might work. But you never know until you run it, right? And like, if it doesn't work, screw it, I want to use it.
And it's, the other objection is great. I would still like to be a second opinion. It's always smart to, if you went to a doctor and they told you that you needed that procedure that you weren't sure about, what would you do? Second opinion. Second opinion. And the other agents, I'm happy to drive down there, whether you hire me or not, but I'd love to show you what we do.
Something's better than nothing. But. Agent eighty on referral fee for listing appointment. I have a seller that only wants to talk to an Adrian agent. I looked you up, you're the best one. I call them and say, hey, do you want to talk to the best Adrian agent? So. 35%.
Yeah.
Sure as hell I'm giving 25. Is that the appointment?
Yeah, listen, it's not, he was ready to sign, it's outside.
Better than nothing.
That's a great idea, great angle.
Feet hit the ground, how you making money on this?
Just make sure it's not the last agent they hired.
Yeah, a little bit. It worked though.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. All right, guys. Any other pressing topics before we wrap up? They look like it's 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
My wife says they need to go taller.
What shoes you got, baby?
Those looks close match, but I just recommended, had no choice. That was a doctor.
Yeah, you're like 6 feet. Come on.
I did a real estate transaction with an active podiatrist. You should have stuck to being out.